Good morning and welcome to Newsline. We're coming live to you on NBT, NBT World and Radio Thailand FM 88. My name is Cholapansa Narula. It's Tuesday's edition, July the 12th of 2016, and here is the news. Let's begin with Thailand moves forward. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has given out outstanding revolving funds awards, recognizing the fund's contributions to promoting people's quality of life and the national economy. Prayut presided over the annual ceremony to award outstanding revolving funds, which was organized by the Comptroller General's Department. The awards were aimed at encouraging members of revolving funds to continue to improve their management and operations for higher efficiency in lifting the quality of life and driving the economy. This year, there were 17 awards under 4 categories. Awards for outstanding works were given to the National Health Security Fund, the Thailand Research Fund and the Cooperative Development Fund. The Narcotics Control Fund and the Fund for Formal Education Schools were awarded for outstanding development, and the Fund for Science and Technology Development was awarded for outstanding management. According to Finance Minister Apisak Tantiwarawong, the Revolving Fund Act sets a budget ceiling for each fund in accordance with actual needs, while any surplus funds will be transferred back to the Finance Ministry. There are currently 116 revolving funds worth a combined 3.3 trillion baht under the ministry's supervision. Deputy Prime Minister Somkit Jatusipitak has called on the Ministry of Public Health to develop healthcare innovation, focusing on equal access to healthcare services for the underprivileged and those in remote areas. Dr. Somkit attended a meeting of executives of the Ministry of Public Health, giving a talk on healthcare and economic development. In his speech, he asked the Ministry of Public Health to care for the underprivileged, the elderly, and those in remote areas in order to reduce healthcare inequality. He asked the ministry to provide mobile healthcare units to service remote areas and also to educate the public on healthy lifestyles as a preventative measure. In addition, the ministry should establish a program which reduces the cost of medical services and develops research and innovation pertaining to medicine, spas, and herbal medicine. Mr. Somkit also urged the Food and Drug Administration to ensure food safety and reduce the production required in renewing expired drug patents in order to reduce the cost of drugs. Minister attached to the Prime Minister's office, Suwapan Tanyuwatana, has affirmed that the Prime Minister's action of refraining from presenting nominees for Supreme Patriarch for royal consideration does not conflict with existing legislation on the process. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha maintained that the process of selecting nominees, including related court cases of high-ranking abbots, must first be concluded before the Prime Minister can submit the list. Mr. Suwapan said the Council of State had released a statement on the interpretation of Section 7 of the Monastic Act regarding the nomination of a new Supreme Patriarch. According to the statement, the Prime Minister can submit the nominations only if he receives permission from the Sangha Supreme Council, while the nominees must be of the highest monastic rank. The Council of State therefore concludes that the Prime Minister's inaction so far is not in violation of Section 7 of the Monastic Act. In addition, the Council suggested that the Prime Minister need not be obligated to act according to the advice of the Ombudsman, but can certainly choose to incorporate the suggestions as part of his consideration. Section 7 of the Monastic Act states that the King appoints a new Supreme Patriarch in the event of a vacancy. The Prime Minister, through the approval of the Sangha Supreme Council, is charged with submitting a list of the highest-ranking abbots for His Majesty's consideration. In the event that the highest-ranking abbots are unable to assume the title, the Prime Minister must ask for permission from the Sangha Supreme Council to nominate abbots from the next highest rank. The National Reform Steering Assembly, or NRSA, has approved a report and the proposals on the reform of the coordinating system for both local and international social media operators. At its sitting on Monday, the NRSA reviewed a report from the Committee on the Reform of Mass Media, which presented the study and the proposals on how to reform the coordination with operators of online social media who are in Thailand or abroad. Chairman of the committee, Police Major General Pisit Pao-in, said that the widespread use of online social media has been experiencing problems when it comes to the authorities' attempt to work with responsible developers and operators, particularly those who are based overseas and outside the jurisdiction of Thai laws. Among problems encountered was the inability to timely stop the distribution of inappropriate messages or photos. Therefore, the committee has proposed that the ICT Ministry should be the responsible agency in coordinating all efforts between both sides while employing a central information center to facilitate the court orders and their notification to all intended recipients. Most NRSA members have offered some suggestions to the committee and called for more contribution from related agencies to help achieve such a goal before voting 152 to 2 with 9 abstentions to approve the report. The Minister of Interior has planned to propose a new road safety law to the Cabinet while calling for more police checkpoints during long holidays. Interior Minister General Anupong Phao-Jinda chaired the 4th meeting of the Road Safety Commission for 2016 to follow up on amendments to existing laws for safety on roadways. The meeting focused on 5 areas of road safety, namely driving under the influence, speeding, driving without a license, accidents, and seatbelt wearing. The gathering also sought to set new safety measures for the upcoming Buddhist Lent period. General Anupong remarked that as this week has a long holiday, many citizens would likely travel back to their hometowns or for leisure, increasing the likelihood of road accidents. Acknowledging the Prime Minister's calls for care of the public, the Minister said he has ordered the Ministry of Interior agencies to work against traffic accidents during the holiday by focusing on preventative measures. He has asked that more checkpoints be set up along roads so that more inspections can be carried out of drivers to ensure their safety. The head of the Public Relations Department has taken part in a religious ceremony to mark the 28th anniversary of the National Broadcasting Services of Thailand. PRD Director General Aphinan Chantarangsi and his deputies Jarun Chayasorn and Jamlong Singtongam joined NBT Executive Director Pitaya Mueang and the office's staff in marking the 28th anniversary of NBT observed on July 11th each year. Government officials and private sector representatives traveled to the ceremony to express their congratulations with gifts and flowers. They all also gave donations for the construction of a new patient building at the Kalaya Rajanakarin Institute. The anniversary is also to celebrate the unveiling of 11 new programs that will establish NBT's new daily schedule designed to appeal to a wider audience while providing more information and knowledge. NBT is an agency of PRD and serves as the main medium for publicizing government policies to the nation. It was established in 1985 with 300 million baht in support from the Japan International Cooperation Agency and began to broadcast on July 11th of 1988. The United Nations Population Fund, or UNFPA, this month organized a seminar on the occasion of World Population Day in Bangkok. World Population Day is an annual event observed on July 11th every year, which seeks to raise awareness of global population issues. This year, the United Nations Population Fund organized a seminar on the theme, Investing in Teenage Girls, Empowering the Nation, to discuss gender equality. Regional Director of UNFPA, Yoriko Yasukawa, said that teenage girls across the Asia-Pacific and in much of the world face greater challenges than their male counterparts.
The theme of this year's World Population Day is investing in the teenage girl. And this is really about taking seriously what the countries in the world committed themselves to when they approved the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development in September of last year, they made the commitment to ensure a life of dignity for all people, overcoming inequalities and exclusions, leaving no one behind, and putting the farthest behind first. And that necessarily means giving priority to the teenage girl because she is among the most excluded, discriminated against, and left farthest behind. Just to give you some figures, there are today approximately 579 million adolescent girls in the world, over 325 million of them living in our region, the Asia-Pacific region. Over 16 million of these girls are out of school.
Earlier this year, the Thai government launched a program to find solutions to the adolescent pregnancy problem, aiming to prevent and alleviate adolescent pregnancies in Thailand. Samut Sakhon province has dispatched an anti-human trafficking team of 500 officers and instructed them to immediately take legal action against people who are involved in human trafficking. Deputy Governor of Samut Sakhon, Narongsak Chalermkiat, said the problem of human trafficking was of high priority to Samut Sakhon. The province has special teams to combat human trafficking and hiring of illegal alien workers with the use of many relevant laws, said the Deputy Governor. The province has set up an operations center on prevention and suppression of human trafficking. All enterprises which hire alien workers are required to abide by immigration laws, proper working conditions for aliens, protection of workers, and social security laws. The Deputy Governor added that the province's anti-human trafficking efforts need cooperation from all sectors, including enterprises and the media. Mr. Narongsak then presided over a ceremony to send more than 500 officers and volunteers to search areas susceptible to human trafficking across the province. And that's it for Thailand Moves Forward. We'll now take a quick look at the exchange rates and commodity prices. Newsline will return after these messages.
Gifts of bounty fill the trawlers till I dance in thanks to thee.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. I'm Cholapansa Narula. The Ministry of Culture has organized a program to encourage Thai youths living abroad to serve as cultural ambassadors of the nation, as well as to enhance the nation's cultural heritage both at home and abroad. Over 50 students set to depart for studies in the US, France, Sweden and Australia attended the launch of the program for 2016. The youths will spend several days engaging in talks and discussions at the Bangkok National Museum, set up by the Ministry of Culture, so that they maintain communities of Thai people while abroad, while acting as ambassadors for the kingdom as well. One talk to take place during the meeting is titled Knowing Thailand and will be given by Surat Jongda, a professor from the Fine Arts College. The talk will provide knowledge on Thailand's religion, arts and history. The students will also go on an observational tour of Nakhon Phanom, Samut Songkhram and Ratchaburi provinces to bolster their knowledge of Thailand. A seminar on the migration of ASEAN people and their effects on security has resulted in recommendations for relevant agencies to have clearer measures to combat illicit border crossing. The seminar was organized by the National Security Council, or NSC, in hand with the Thailand Development Research Institute Foundation and Chulalongkorn University's Asian Research Center for Migration. The seminar concluded that with the opening of ASEAN Economic Community, or AEC, Thailand must have clearer legal measures to ensure its security, with all relevant agencies needing to adapt their policies and strategies to better follow government goals. The administration wants to support the migration of laborers within ASEAN and has begun working on government-to-government agreements on management and systematic control. The new agreements are to replace annual foreign labor registration to avoid confusion. The seminar, however, also called for better legal training of migrating laborers so that they understand their rights and for temporary border passes to be seized due to their problematic application. It pointed out stricter laws on employment are needed and that closer oversight on work conditions in the kingdom is needed too. The discussion agreed that laborers who violate laws or enter the nation illegally should be deported as punishment. Following the integration of ASEAN community on the 31st of December 2015, Thailand needs to be developed for the mutual benefits of the regional integration, and boosting English literacy skill is a crucial factor for the development. Our NBT World correspondent Kun Pimchanok Ratanapiset has more.
In the globalization era, English is one of the important tools used to communicate and connect the world together as a whole. As we have already known that English is a working language for ASEAN, every ASEAN member country needs to develop their citizens to be skilled in English for further cooperation in all aspects. Moreover, English literacy will be able to strengthen people-to-people connectivity. Mr. Kevin J. Harrington, an English instructor, also points out the importance of English.
English is so important right now. Being a global community that we are, Thailand and especially Bangkok is a financial hub for the entire world. Now with our economies and our cultures all being tied together, English is so important for people to communicate, also to do business around the world on the internet or using mass media. We are constantly bringing English into the fold.
However, only 10% of Thai people can speak English fluently. Developing their skills needs an option. Another English instructor, Mr. Bandit Pansiri, gives us techniques how to evolve students' English skill and encourage them amid the fear of making mistakes.
Nowadays, in the 21st century, I think all of the learning resources are easily to access, all accessible. And so I think the focus should be on the positive attitudes that we would like to improve or increase among the learners. And because we believe that when they have positive attitudes towards the language, they will have their own intrinsic motivation to move on, to learn on their own, without any teachers to force them to do anything. Yes.
Both English instructors agree that practice makes perfect and insist not to worry about making mistakes. Furthermore, elevating English literacy is correspond with developing human resource maneuver, one of great components that can drive Thailand 4.0 policy. Camera work by Pakorn Vimoolkha and Pimchanok Ratanapiset for NBT World.
Let's take a look at other global news. 9 people were killed and 18 missing after wind and driving rain brought by the remains of the super typhoon Nepatak swept into China over the weekend. The deaths were all in the southeastern province of Fujian, where the typhoon made landfall, the Civil Affairs Ministry said in a statement on its website. China's Central Television, CCTV, reported that part of a bridge and road base were damaged in Fujian's Minqing County by the floodwater, disrupting the traffic. Footage carried on CCTV showing people clearing up mud and debris and workers fixing damaged power facilities. Total economic damage has been put at $134 million, with 40,000 acres of crops destroyed and more than 900 houses wrecked. The storm is expected to worsen already severe flooding in parts of central and eastern China as its remnants slowly make their way inland. Typhoons are common at this time of year in South China Sea, picking up strength over warm waters and dissipating over land. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's ruling coalition won a landslide victory in an election for Parliament's upper house, despite concerns about his economic policies and plans to revise the nation's post-war pacifist constitution for the first time. Media projections showed Abe's coalition and like-minded parties had won the two-thirds supermajority needed to try to revise the constitution's restraints on the military, a step that could strain ties with China, where memories of Japan's past militarism run deep. Abe's Liberal Democratic Party, or LDP, also won a simple majority for the first time since 1989, according to the projections. That victory will bolster Abe's grip over the Conservative Party that he led back to power in 2012, promising to reboot the economy with hyper-easy monetary policy, fiscal spending and reforms. At an LDP rally in Tokyo, the Prime Minister vowed to pursue widespread and aggressive economic policies in autumn, boosted by a voter mandate by the victory. Any attempt to revise the constitution will still be politically fraught, and LDP heavyweights have suggested that amending the pacifist Article 9 would not be the first priority. In Japan, some financial market players fear trying to amend the constitution could divert Abe's energy away from reviving the stuttering economy. Israelis and Palestinians reacted to media reports about new settlements planned in and around Jerusalem. Israeli media reported that Israeli leaders have approved plans to build some 800 housing units for settlers in and around East Jerusalem. No formal announcements was made, but the liberal Haaretz newspaper quoted an unidentified Israeli official as saying the move was coupled with a decision which drew right-wing criticism to erect 600 homes for Palestinians in an Arab neighborhood of Jerusalem. According to the reports, 560 homes will be built in Ma'ale Adumin, that is a large settlement in the occupied West Bank near Jerusalem. Another 140 dwellings will go up in Ramat and about 100 in Hahoma and Pisgat Ziv, settlements on the outskirts of Jerusalem that were built on land Israel occupied in a 1967 war. Ending on a lighter note, but of course with rather heavy animals, we take a look at hippos if we do have a bit of time here. Each of them weighs over a ton and has massive canines and incisors that can be used for fighting. They are considered to be very aggressive towards humans and they are part of a family circus show in Russia. Well, I believe that we don't have any more time, so apologies for that. We will bring you this news perhaps once again in other parts of our news on NBT World. It's time to say goodbye, so allow me to end with some pictures, and that will be a water park in the southern province of Satun. I'm Cholapan Sanarula. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. We'll see you tomorrow right here on NBT. Sawasdee ka.